buildings within municipalities have been flagged over time as a problematic area that would need adequate interventions. Today, we see the Minister just moving into this space, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Dean Macpherson, a month into office, and he wants to attend to these buildings that have been problematic for the department over time. We hear that the department is the biggest landlord here in the city of Tshwane, and one of their problematic buildings that have been flagged and even a subject to an investigation by the SIU is the Telkom building, so the Telkom Towers Building here in the city of Tshwane. We see the Minister moving with the Mayor from building to building, from floor to floor within this area, trying to get to the bottom of what has happened here, as we hear that this building was acquired and bought for over 600 million rand, and there have been also more monies that have been spent in terms of keeping it safe, in terms of keeping it habitable. We see also those occupants of this building as being the members of the SABC that this building was bought for, being asked to vacate this particular building early this year, as we see it not safe for it to be occupied by this department. I'm going to bring into the conversation Solidarity. You guys have been raising these issues for quite some time, and we see that this particular building has been on your radar, and we see you just coming through to welcome the interventions by the Minister. We hear him saying that he's going to launch an investigation within 60 days. We should have an idea of what needs to be done here. Welcome to the SABC. Maybe give us a sense of really how you're receiving some of these developments, looking at the fact that we've seen the Minister, he's seen for himself what has been happening in these buildings.
Thank you very much. Solidarity voiced our concerns since last year already to the police top management to indicate that the employees, some of them are members of Solidarity Trade Union, the police officers working here, raised lots of concerns with regard to the safety of the building, the ventilation, the water, the electricity. People have to walk 25 stairs, and then it's people that's 60 years and older. So we approached the Department of Labour requesting them to do a walkabout with us and an inspection, which happened on the 27th of February, and then the building was closed by the Department of Labour and Employment. So the police had to vacate the building. So a lot of people that was housed here, it's the police's head office, they were moved to other premises. Some of them are working from home. They've got a challenge there because they don't have equipment, so they are actually not working since February up until now. So it's really problematic for us. There are still people that's working here. So despite the fact that the building has been closed by the department as not fit for human occupation, people are still working here. So, but we are very glad that the Minister came to ground level and see for himself what we are complaining about for several years now. So, and we are hopeful that there are definitely going to be an investigation, as he indicated, independent, both on the state of the building as well as the purchasing. I mean, we already raised our concerns when they talk about moving the police to this building. Telkom left here for a reason. I mean, then the police said, no, but we want to procure the building. So since then we said you cannot do that because the building is not fit and proper. But they went forward, so at least the SIU is also going to investigate now the whole procurement process. So we are really hopeful that the Minister did intervene and that there will be positive steps that will be taken so that the members can either come back to a safe building and be productive, or that they procure other buildings, and maybe, I don't know what they're going to do with this, but that the people be moved to a safer and secure environment.
Yeah, just before we let you go, give us a sense of looking at the work that you guys have been doing on the ground in various of these communities. Is this an isolated case? Do we have similar buildings of this nature? Do we have the Minister really having his work cut out for him as he steps into this particular portfolio? What has been happening?
There's a lot of problems. Government buildings belonging to the government that DPW is responsible for is falling apart. I'm working in the police sector, and I can tell you everywhere, police stations are falling apart, places where the detective services are housed. Some of these places are rentals, so the police has to pay for a private company to rent the building, but then the owner of the building do not do the necessary renovations. So people are working in very dilapidated buildings and premises. So it's not only this look actually good if you compare it to some of the places where we have been called to. So the Minister is going to be very busy, but we are hopeful that things will be turning around.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the SABC, this being Solidarity. You hear them saying that really they've been calling and flagging some of these buildings. Now all eyes are on the Minister to ensure then these that these interventions then come through with the saving of some of these buildings, but also just coming through for community members that have been crying and municipalities that have been calling for interventions over time. I'm Katlego, Legodi for SABC News in Pretoria.